Now it thinks I'm live. It went through without.
There it is.
Am I here? Oh yeah, what's up? There we are. It went through without. Okay. So, okay, Trento.
Yeah, it's
It's what?
it's almost better than everything.
Cool. Excuse me. So, I think what we should do is we should like sort of go into like game mode or whatever, and just go straight through as if we were doing something that was going to be posted like straight to like YouTube as a tutorial
Yeah.
because ideally that is what we'll do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we'll do like one run through and see how that goes, and then we might, if it's flubbed at all, we'll just go start to finish, and then if we flub it at all, we do another one. I'm actually curious about how long it will take from start to finish, so we can check that. Um, how does that sound?
That's pretty good.
I'm gonna move the camera back here, and I'm like mentally confused because of all the complexity going on. Uh, so yeah, let's do that. Sound good? Are you ready to be, you, you get your game face on? Your performance is Trento, the world's Trento, prepared to unveil,
Trends of the terrific. Right.
blast onto the scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tokyo.
Exactly. You're not in control until you're out of control, is
Yeah.
what Dr. Sean Barton says to me. Um, okay. So let's see. What I'm gonna script. I'm just gonna talk you through it, and I'm gonna talk you through it, and then I'll like I don't know. I'll just fucking wing it. Who cares? Okay. We have been announced. Um, I am going to see.
Maybe we should wait for some people.
I think we should just start.
Yeah,
Because and I'm gonna turn on the I can't see chat thing,
chat. Yeah.
because things I have learned about myself, I cannot ignore chat. It is not possible for me to do that. So if we want to get anything done, which I just we just have to,
Yeah, sure.
chat will understand.
You can do Q&A after.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the plan. Actually, let me see if I can change that to say Q&A after sort of thing. Um, da, 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 open app settings. Can't see chat right now. Q&A when timer runs out. And I don't know. That's fine. Q&A time. Who cares? Okay, so saying saved. Okay, do that. Control Shift P. Yeah, there we go. Pretty ugly, but who cares? It's also only 20 minutes, which might not be enough time. But if it runs out, then I still won't look at chat. Okay. Do. And okay. Are you ready?
Muted. I am ready. Yes.
Yeah. Which camera are you using right now? Is that a webcam?
This is like my normal camera, but then I have 3 others ready to
Okay.
be free cat.
Um. Oh, someone joined us. It's okay if that happens during the thing. That's fine. I'm not looking at chat. FYI. So sorry. Could you move your camera so that so that when you're looking at your workstation, you're looking more at the camera? Is that feasible or is that hard? If it's hard, don't do it. Because right now it's just getting like the side of your face,
Yeah,
which is we are humans. We don't like that.
I can do this.
That's good. That's yeah. And then also like just like focus on what you're gonna focus on. Like just act like do it. Like don't
Yeah.
like with your face in a comfortable eye configuration. That's where you would look.
This, if I was working, yeah, I'd be
This is
doing this.
normal.
No, if I was normal, I would be doing this.
Okay, that's fine. That is just something I've noticed is like uh, it's helpful. I think about these things these days.
No, yeah, I
Um,
think, yeah.
okay. So and I'm assuming that we're just gonna go back and cut this up later. So I'll do a count in, and then I'll start the timer, and then we'll go.
Sounds good.
Okay. So 5, 4, 3. It's Wayne's World. Oh, okay. Okay. So, hello everybody on YouTube or Twitch or wherever you may be seeing this. So today we have special guest El Trento, otherwise known as a my postdoc in my lab does a lot of stuff, and we are going to walk him through the installation and recording session of the free mocap system uh, on his computer over wherever he is. And the only prerequisites here is that you have to install Anaconda, so to do a package management. So just go to anaconda.com or .org or whoever it is, install it in whatever ways you want to install it, and from your Windows menu, open an Anaconda prompt, which looks like this. You'll know you're in the right one because it'll say base in parentheses to the left. It doesn't, yeah. Right now, this only works on Windows, but we're working towards Linux and Mac, so please be patient. Okay, you ready, Trent?
I am.
Okay, I'm just going to talk you through this. So
Let's do it.
go in there, click on that guy, and type conda create -n. Let's call it free mocap -env, env -env.
Mocap-env.
Yeah, as in like free mocap environment.
Oh,
There you go. Space Python space 3.7.
just space
Nope, equals 3.7. Sorry, Python equals 3.7, and hit enter.
All right.
So that will create an installation of Python that Anaconda will manage. So this is go yes, say yes. And that is the version of Python to which we will install free mocap. This is a very convenient. Anaconda is a really helpful thing to do because you can have multiple installations of Python on your computer, which if you're doing a bunch of stuff, that's helpful to keep your projects from not blocking each other. So now type conda activate free mocap env. And notice that the base, meaning like that's using your base version of Python, has changed to free mocap env, which means that everything you're punching through these terminals now is going to be directed towards that version of Python. So now let us install free mocap. Say typing pip install free mocap. Hit it. So that is, wow, isn't that so easy? Hopefully, we'll find out. So pip is a package manager that handles, it's basically, I've uploaded a version, a copy, a wheel, I don't know what they call it, of the free mocap code to pip. And so pip install free mocap installs that version of free mocap from PyPy, PYPI is the website. And as I'm talking through this, I'm like, I still don't really understand how that works. I don't know who those people are. I don't know what I'm uploading to them, but it's fine. This is now, so like, one of the cool things about doing open source programming or programming in general is just like understanding that like when you are writing code, you're really just sort of using these Gossamer logic threads to pull together the work of thousands upon thousands of other people over like hundreds of thousands of human effort hours. And each one of these packages is the accumulated effort of somebody somewhere. Like OpenCV contrib Python, that's an open computer vision toolbox. That's, like 1,000 dissertations are in that package. NumPy is just like a numerical computational thing. It's just great. And look at right there at the end, free mocap. That's us. We did that. We wrote that. And I'm also filling in space because it takes a minute to actually populate. We timed it earlier. It was 2 minutes. I suppose I can.
Cats.
What's that?
How are the cats?
Cats are good. They're not here right now, though. I wish they were for viewership's sake. Okay, so we have successfully installed it. If you see like yellow or red stuff pop up, don't freak out. It sometimes does that. But this is nice and clean and white, no errors, no warnings. So now we're gonna just go ahead and do it. So type Python. And notice, yeah, go for it. Cool. So now we are in a Python REPL console. I don't know what they call it, but notice that it says Python 3.7.11. If it says something else, then something bad has happened. But that's there, and we're happy about that. So type import free mocap as FMC. That is importing the package. Enter. You're importing the package free mocap into this Python console and running it line by line. And now let's just jump right into it. FMC dot run me, capital R, capital M with 2 open close parentheses. Punch it. Boom. If this was it, that should be a sparkle skull sparkle, but the command prompt is not cool enough to handle emojis. So stage 1 has now, it's gone and looked for the available cameras attached to your computer, and they show up there. So you have 3 cameras attached. Camera 1 is being used to stream, so we're going to use 0, 2, and 3. So go ahead and select those and keep it on setup and say submit. Now we're going to rotate these. Yeah, so Trent's cameras they're tilted like this to put it in portrait mode. And so we've already known that that's what happens, but you can submit. Also change the exposure to something like -7 would be good. Just go ahead and submit. Yeah, just go ahead and submit. Let's try to get through this one quickly, and we can, details can happen later. So we have already set up the cameras. Notice that they are rotated so that Trent is upright in the image, and he's got a place to stand. Shows his whole body. You don't have to show your whole body. It's just cooler if you do. He also has a Charuko board ready, which is one of these looking things. His is big, but it works with just a regular old printout. So we are still in setup mode here, and it's not documented yet, but we'll fix this. To get out of this, you push escape, which unfortunately is not written anywhere. I've updated that. Okay, so now this is the next little GUI that prepares for the actual recording. It gives you the session ID up there, which is an auto-generated thing. And you want to choose where to create your data folder. The default is just putting it in the user profile. There will be a folder in there made called freemocap_data. So you can change it if you want, but you can just leave that like that for now, Trent. And so when he clicks proceed, the recording will start. It should say record, but it says proceed. And Trent is prepared to do a quick and efficient recording in the interest of speed. So you good, Trent?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, go for it, and I'll talk over you. So you click proceed, the recording starts. These ones aren't rotated, but don't worry about that. And he's up there, and he shows that's enough, Trent. He shows the Charuko board to each of the cameras. And then, cool. So that recording is not going to be very good because you didn't have any views of your unobstructed body, but that's fine. No. We'll keep going. Nope. So this is showing the quality of the recording. The main thing to look at is that top left, which shows the frame numbers versus timestamps. That will tell you if there were significant frame drops. The fact that all three cameras have the same slope means that we're good. If there's jumps, if one's at a different slope, then maybe lower your resolution or like try a different USB port. But these ones look great, so go ahead and click proceed. All right, now it's just gonna chug through various parts. I think this part is making it's shuffling the raw videos to synchronize them. And oh yeah, now it's generating the synced videos. It's gonna put them in, you can see the path, free mocap data, sesh is that session ID, and then in that there's a folder called synced videos. Now it's gonna run through any pose to do the camera calibration. You can see that default Dix 200 sword, you know, this is a little complex, but it's basically doing an optimization algorithm to find a configuration of the cameras that sort of makes sense relative to the calibration object that was shown. It knows that it's the same object, so it's doing sort of an optimization called a sparse bundle adjustment. And someday I'll explain that. It does a couple times, just trying to find, it's an iterative thing. So maybe, can you make your text like a little smaller? Not your screen, your text.
So what I can calculate do text.
There you
first.
go. So it's taken a second to figure it out, but it's going just fine. The main thing is that cost in the middle. You want that number to be getting smaller, which it is. And it's happy enough with that. So now it's media piping. So that's using media pipe, which is a markerless motion capture system, to process each of the two-dimensional videos that was recorded and track the skeleton on each one. So basically drawing a stick figure skeleton over the video, which is basically, that's markerless motion capture. It's using machine learning, AI, convolutional neural networks based off ResNet. OpenPose was the original, and now this is a much cleaner version from MediaPipe, which is a Google project. It is licensed under Apache 2, so you can do pretty much whatever you want with it. I suppose OpenPose, which is like a weird and very restrictive license. So it's going to go through, you had 3 videos? Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're doing camera 1, we're doing camera 2, then we're doing camera 3, and then this part will take a second. How are you doing, Trent? Yeah. Yeah. The the recording you got is it'll be fine. It will work, but it won't be very satisfying because you were blocking your body the whole time.
I
So
should know dance afterward.
yeah, you kind of want to, like, what I do, especially with cameras, I do this just because, I kind of rotate it around the vertical axis just so that each camera gets a good view, because like sometimes there's glare or something like that.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, this step now is doing the actual 3D reconstruction. So after the media pipes have gone through, you now are left with two-dimensional tracks from all 3 videos, as well as the camera calibration info that came from AnyPose. And so using the combination of those 2D camera tracks with the camera calibration of, basically giving you the the location of each camera, you can use what's called epipolar geometry to do a triangulation and reconstruct the 3-dimensional location of all of the tracked points. Some future iteration will put more meaningful, like that should be explained on the screen. Okay. Now we are saving out the skeleton. So we create the animation and it saves it out. This part is rather slow. So in the interest of time and to show off how this works, go ahead and cancel this, Trent. Hit Control C. Okay, so that X out that. So push up on your, so now we want to reprocess that video, but we don't want to make a new one. So what we're going to do is we're going to type stage equals 5, Again, this is not particularly transparent, but we're going to be changing some of this to be. So stage 5 is the animation stage, which again it's you would never know that, which is a problem, but just telling you now, that is the animation stage. And you're also going to type record vid, a capital V, equals false, which is basically saying rerun using the last session that you had. You can also specify the session ID. Skip everything before the animation and don't record the video, which will let the video pop up more directly. So hit enter. Doesn't like that. Cool. Go back, Trent, go into your free mocap data folder. If Aaron is watching, the sample data breaks the stage thing. Go into free mocap data. Go back. Just do, it's in there. It just needs to be, nope, it's in Trent. There you go. Go into free mocap data. Actually, okay. Aaron, the free mocap data stuff isn't working. No, don't do anything. You're good. Which one is the one we just did? Is it that one? Say something, Trent.
I've been muted this whole time, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, delete everything except for that folder.
Delete everything. Delete this?
Yes. Yes, delete everything except for that. There's a thing where it's the way we make the free mocap data folder is kind of stupid, and it did a recursive thing. So now do it again. And imagine how cool that would have been if it happened the first time.
Look at this guy right there.
Yeah, that's a ghost skeleton.
A ghost skeleton.
Yeah, but we don't mind. And
Where's my smell face? Oh,
look at you.
look at that sideways monster.
So obviously, because he is covering half of his body during this recording, the reconstruction isn't going to look very good. So in a second, we're almost done with that 20 minutes. So we'll just restart this from scratch. And also the way the data comes out, yeah, but it doesn't look bad.
No, it's not bad for not really having done this yet.
Yeah, and it's also just floating in space. We know that. It's fine. Can you see me?
I cannot.
Okay. Can you find a way to be able to see me?
I can go to Twitch. But I will be seeing us on the way.
That's fine. I need to give you a visual demo.
I'm here.
Oh. So when you do the thing, just do it like you're holding it like this, which is good, and then just do like sort of this.
I have to wait for the video on Twitch to like catch up with your body, which I think it's like maybe like a 10-second delay.
Yeah, I know. Did you see what it was?
Holding it horizontally.
It doesn't matter. You were holding it correctly, but the relevant part is this.
The splaying.
Yeah, sort of like rotating around the vertical axis a bit. Although it's probably fine. You actually don't really need to do that. Just in this, do a little bit of this, hold it up for like 3 or 4 seconds, and then just drop it, and then do some of this.
Drop it, do some dancing.
Don't move fast. But just like mostly like show your hands, do something, and then walk. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and that is that. Okay, that was one. That was one Pomodoro 20-minute block. Uh,
You want to just do it again?
yeah. Let me see if chat's said anything.
Yeah.
There
Speaking
is.
of chat, how is the noble chat?
There are chats. Hello. There is chats. I see chats now. I was lying about. I mean, I couldn't see them before, but I see Socrae and Moose Man stealing my science secrets. Forever like, oh, it's old Kyle. How you doing, Kyle? And then good old Mycon, OG, here from the start, doing free mocap, following free mocap before it was cool. Um, how's everybody doing? You got like, let's see, I'll give you like 5 minutes before I restart the timer. If anyone wants to say anything, now's the time. Um, awesome. Socrates is Kendrick. How you doing, Kendrick? Let's talk about that real quick right now. Actually, Trent, do you have a place to be?
What do you mean?
Uh, I wanted to have a moment to talk to Kendrick about the Blender add-on. Oh, what
Yeah.
is that sound?
Um,
Oh, that was the Pomodoro.
I would prefer to be. I just got my dog.
I know.
And it's love. But,
So, uh, like 5 minutes.
yeah. I mean,
Five
like, I
five
can
minutes, and then
until
another one of
5:30.
those until 5:30. Perfect.
Yeah.
So Kendrick, uh, let's do. I'll talk real quick, and then we'll do another one of those, and then I'll come back. But I got the thing. I got it installed. I got the add-on installed. Um, uh, and I'm not sure if you've already explained. Where's the stupid thing? Oh, what's going on? I'm not sure what to do with it. Uh, so I got this guy. Oh wait, I'm trying to get the terminal up. There we go. So I got this, and I can toggle this. The server starts and stop. Okay. Oh, and you mentioned that. So I need to have, if I click this, something fails or something. Um, is it looking? Is there a way for me to put the test file in a place that it will see? Oh, okay. Cool. Cool. Um, so that's great. I mean, so realistically, like I personally don't have the headspace to dive into your code, but I have a student who has been doing kind of like the animation, like playing with Blender, like loading in free mocap data files. And she is looking through your stuff, and I saw she sent me a message, but I haven't had a chance to read it yet. Um, just download folder and open in Blender. Oh, the blend file. Oh, that one. I see. Um, let's see. Uh, because you shared a blend file. Let me see if I can find that. Where is it? This work is working on the line armature. Yeah, no, and I'm super stoked about it. um, so align an armature to a set of world coordinates is like there's a terminology thing happening here where I don't really understand what that means exactly. Like, is that mean that you're setting like a skeleton armature to fit like motion capture data, for example? It's in free mocap discussion. That's what I was looking for. Stress test. You have multiple stress tests. Stress test, there it is. Downloads, save, stress test. Don't save. Okay. Yeah, I did change my password. Ooh, look at that. I see. I see. That makes a lot of sense now. The tracking at the bottom. Not the pi. I did it. Awesome. That's cool. That's exactly what I needed. It was like, I was like, I don't know which button to push. I didn't really put two and two together to load the stress test. Um, uh, okay, cool. Thank you, Kendrick. I will pass this information along, and yeah, this is great. I'm excited to have kind of the opportunity to share. This one's mm-hmm. Perfect. I just realized I'm not sure if this is saving the chat, but I think it is. I don't know. Okay. So you press the very bottom button. Is that what you meant? Oh, I see. I'm gonna grab and move the empties. Okay. Cool. This is really great. I thank you for this brief tutorial, Kendrick, and also for all your work on this. Um, I think this is going to be really helpful. Real quick, pin on each other. No, I don't know exactly how hard that was, but I fully understand that what you have done is a hard task. And to do it in kind of like this, like a simple Blender add-on like this is really, that's great. So I think what we're going to do so right now I'm going to turn back to Trent and we're going to keep doing this demo. But I think from our end, from the Blender side of things, I'm going to have, like the person I have, we're doing well. Hi, Mr. Squarebag. We're going to, I'll have my resident Blender animation expert human start working on like folding the work she's already been doing with the work that you've been doing. Because I think that she has done more like specifically free mocap stuff, specifically like how to read in a free mocap data file into Blender. And you have done more like general, like how to fit an armature to floating world points. So now these two pieces will fit together, and then what a beautiful day that will be. So thank you for your work, and also for the updates and keeping in touch on the Discord server. And now I will, yeah, I will put y'all two in touch. Thank you, Kendrick, for sticking around and for your work, and also, yeah, we'll be in touch on Discord, and I will now say, oh, that's Trento. You don't know about Trento? Look at him. He is. We're gonna do a thing real quick. So I am going to be turning off chat. Or at least it's on, but I can't see it. Starting roughly nowish. You good, Trent?
Yeah. Yeah. Ready whenever.
Um. So yeah, close that guy. Trent,
Yes.
you're still running.
Close this guy.
Close. Yeah. Close.
Probably put
Just close everything. Yeah, because we're gonna do this recording and pretend like we didn't already do it. Because again, it's just gonna
the YouTubes.
for the YouTubes, friends watching on Twitch. We have done a dry run and now we are doing another run. Oh, actually, I'm gonna do this.
That's beautiful.
Twitch. Hashtag starting second recording.
Stamping your stuff.
I'm trying to. I don't really know. I figure I've never tried. This is like one of those things. Like maybe that I did put a tag saying starting second recording, but I actually don't. I've never looked through that kind of data before, so I don't know what it'll look like. And okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now everybody pretend like this is the first time. Shh. And starting that. Oh. Why doesn't it run? Oh, I need to maybe reset? I do. Okay, that's annoying. Okay, there we go. And 5, 4, 3. Hello everybody. Recording this for the first time for sure. If you're on Twitch or YouTube, we're gonna do a run through real quick with El Trento, the postdoc in my lab. And we are going to have him install FreeMocap from scratch on his computer and take a quick recording. And the only prerequisite here is you have to have Anaconda installed on your computer. So just go to anaconda.com or .org or whoever it is and install Anaconda. And then from the Windows menu, search for Anaconda prompt and open up a thing that looks kind of like this. You'll know you're in the right place because it says base in parentheses to the left, which means that it is referencing your base installation of Python. So let's make a new installation of Python 3.7 for FreeMocap. Call that, so type in conda create -n, the name, and call that fmc-env, and space Python equals 3.7. Enter. So that is going to create a new Anaconda environment, a new installation of Python, specifically Python version 3.7. Say yes. With the name fmc-env. Hit enter. There you go. I knew you could do it. So having a bunch of Python environments is really beneficial. So conda activate fmc-env, and notice that the base in parentheses, enter, changes to fmc-env. That means you are now referencing the new installation of Python. It's really good to have different installations of Pythons for different projects because that makes so things don't interact with themselves, and you can gum yourself up pretty well there. So that is now in a fresh installation of Python called fmc-env. Now let us install FreeMocap with pip install FreeMocap. Enter. So that's using pip, which is a Python package manager on PyPy, PyPI I don't know. I don't really know how that works, but it holds on to I uploaded a build, the code. I don't know what I uploaded, but I gave it to PyPy, and now you can install it on your own computer. This is showing sort of all of the packages that I use that are used in FreeMocap. It's not it's really we. But I always think it's really fun to think about the, like, when you're writing code like this, especially open source code, you are just utilizing the accumulated effort of tens of thousands of human hours of people just sitting at their computers, like trying to string together these little like logic threads to make things work. And once it's gotten to a stable place, it's kind of like crystallized and put online, then you can kind of reference to it. So that little free mocap there at the end, which is cut off very disrespectfully, that is just like, that's just, it's a bunch of little Gossamer threads of logic that are pulling together other people's logic threads, and the thing that gets built out of it is just a new iteration of human effort. In there somewhere, you see matplotlib, you see numpy, you see rich, you see opencv. Where's opencv? Opencv contrib. That's an open computer vision repository of like, just like, there's like 1,000 dissertations encoded in that little block of text. And it's just great. It takes a little bit of time. I think we timed it at about 2 minutes. SciPy right there. Scientific Python. Again, just sort of like, just the little package that contains like the accumulation of all computational science of the past 1,000 years. What a powerful thing. Okay, I don't know, I don't have anything else to wax philosophic about. I want this to be done now. What's that?
It will be done soon.
It will be done soon. I think FreeMocap is a fairly complex, relatively speaking, package. Like, I think it uses a lot of dependencies because it kind of needs to, because FreeMocap itself is just a wrapper for a lot of other people's really hard work. Mostly we're relying on AnyPose for the camera calibration, and MediaPipe for the markerless tracking, but also OpenPose and Deep Lab Cut, which are also machine learning, AI, convolutional neural network based markerless mocap stuff. So we need to use all of those packages for this package. So it winds up having a fair number of dependencies. We're always trying to see how much we can shave off. But I should also mention, this base version is only supporting MediaPipe, but if you wanted to use Deep Lab Cut, you would need to have CUDA on your computer and an NVIDIA CUDA capable GPU. And when you do the pip install, you'll type pip install square bracket DLC, close square bracket, and that will install a different version of the software that supports Deep Lab Cut.
All of this works on Windows.
All of this works on Windows. I think we're getting pretty close to figuring out what's blocking it from working on Linux and OS X Mac stuff, but we're still not there yet. There we go.
Hit enter.
Yeah, sometimes it gets blocked. It just needed to be reminded. Okay, so it probably doesn't take that long. Sometimes just hit enter. So now we have that installed. Now we're going to open up a Python console. So type Python, enter. Notice that it says Python 3.7, which is indeed the version of Python we installed, and that's good. And now this is a REPL, read, evaluate, print loop. Every line you type here is as if you were running a Python script with just that line in it. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to import FreeMocap as FMC. That just loads the module into this REPL space. Hit it. And just for fun, we're just gonna jump right into it. So FMC dot capital RUN capital ME open close paren. Actually, before you run that, in that type record vid with capital V equals false. That just tells it not to save the video, which means that it will pop up more quickly at the end.
Oh, okay.
There's other bools in there. It's undocumented for now, but we're working on it. So please be patient. And hit it. Punch it. Those question marks should be fun emojis, but it's okay. So it's just run through and sort of identified all the cameras that are attached to the computer. Trento has 3, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Camera 1 is being blocked because he's streaming with it. So select those, keep setup open, and submit. Go ahead and do the rotation thing. Trent's cameras are rotated on the side, which you want the videos to come in with the person facing up. In exposure, you want to lower that number as much as you can while still having nice looking videos. We already know that 7 will work, -7 will work. So go ahead and submit that, Trent.
It did get a little darker in here, but this should work.
It should be fine. Okay, so that's looking good. So we've already moved his cameras so that they have kind of overlapping fields of view. You can see that little post-it note on the ground is in the center of all the images, which means that they have overlapping fields of view. And it looks good. It's not too bright, not too dark. Trent, put your hand up real quick and move it back and forth a little bit like this. Yeah. So it actually is kind of blurring a little bit, which means that you probably could bump it down to -8, but for now we'll just know that, and now we'll just don't move very fast. So hit escape.
Okay.
So this is still just setup. There's currently no documentation that escape is how you get out of that, but that's what you do. And so right now you can change the folder path to where you want the free mocap _data folder to be created. Right now it's just going to go straight into Trent's user profile. If you want to rechange some of those camera parameters, like set it to be -8, you can click change parameters. Let's not worry about that. And in a second, we're going to say click proceed, which really should say record, which is going to start the recording. And then Trent is going to stand up and do a quick calibration. I'll talk over it while you're going. So try to keep it on the shorter side just for complexity. So proceed. So he's going to stand up. These are not rotated, but don't worry about that. He's going to stand in there and show the Chiruko board to each of the cameras. That's probably enough. So he's going to drop that. He's going to do the classic take a step back. There you go. Nice. Okay. And come on back. You were actually off the camera for part of one of your cameras, so you might still have issues, but it's fine. Don't click proceed yet. So this is showing the recording. The main thing to look at here is that top left sort of plot of frame number versus timestamp has all 3 cameras in a nice straight line. That if it has jumps or like if one of them is off slope, that means you have a lot of frame drops or problems in recording. Which means probably just restart it and lower the resolution of the cameras, or move the plugs to different USB ports. Go ahead and click proceed if that looks good, which it does. And now we are chugging through. So now what's happening here is you're going through and taking the raw videos and reshuffling them and synchronizing them so that the end result is a folder called synced videos that has however many synced videos, each of which has the exact same number of frames, and each frame is the same period of time. So frame 25 in camera 1 is the same as same time period as frame 25 on camera 2 and 3. Got through that. Now we're into AnyPose, which is the camera calibration software. You can see 180 boards detected, and you can see like the joint scenes there. It's now running through iterative bundle adjustment. Basically trying to shuffle jitter the camera positions to to know where the positions of the cameras are based off of the calibration board. The main number to look at is that central column called cost. You just want to see that going down. So that cost is basically the error associated, and AnyPose seems to work pretty well. So we mostly just trusted it doing its job. All right, so now we have gotten through camera calibration. We are into the actual 2D skeleton tracking. So MediaPipe is the current main package we're using for the person tracking. And we are going to run each of the videos through MediaPipe. This is basically going through and tracking old Trento's sort of two-dimensional stick figure skeleton on each of the camera images. It'll take a little bit of time, but basically the previous step of doing the camera calibration tells you the 6 degree of freedom position of each camera, basically XYZ position and then XYZ rotation. So those, getting those 6 numbers for each camera tells you the position and rotation of each camera in the space. So once you have the camera calibration sorted, you can combine that with the fact that you are now tracking Trent's two-dimensional skeleton from 3 known locations and reconstruct the 3D position of each of the tracked points on those 2D images. Yeah, that's. How are you feeling, Trent?
I'm good. See how the video looks.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. The thing I noticed when you were recording is you were slightly in front of the point on the ground, which so on one of the cameras, one of your arms was kind of like being cut off, a part of the time. So that may or may not. It might be fine. I'm actually not sure. It's supposed to handle that kind of stuff elegantly, but it may or may not. But just for people who are watching, there's a lot of intuition that needs to be built around, mostly about like the camera placement and sort of like orientation, and a lot of it's just practice. So we'll develop better methods for like teaching that and helping people build those intuitions. But for now, just it's an iterative process and you get better each time. There's also a natural thing that happens where the second you press record, your brain just kind of melts a little bit. So a lot of it is, it's practice, you're building intuition, you're also just getting more comfortable with it. And that's the nice thing about markerless mocap is like the setup is, once you set it up, it's actually fairly straightforward. So you can iterate on it and sort of just like learn the lessons that one learns and get good recordings. Okay. So now we have media piped all 3 of the synchronized camera videos. And now I'll go through and change these print statements to like be more informative. But this completely blank TK enter progress bar is the progress for doing the 3D reconstruction for the 325,257 data points in this recording. So that number is basically the number of tracked points per frame multiplied by the number of frames. Media pipe is a little weird because its face track is a mesh rather than like an outline. So there are a ton. It's like 468 points per on the face mesh. So that times the number of frames in the video gets to be a pretty big number. But the cool thing about that is that it means that every single data point on the face mesh is being reconstructed independently. So if you see the face mesh and it's like looks vaguely like a face, that means that the reconstruction is happening, is pretty accurate, pretty good, because we're not taking advantage of the fact that MediaPipe's face is like a rigid object. But it does make this part take a long time, so we will figure that out. Part of the design philosophy behind this thing is just kind of like the important part is getting it working, and getting it working stably, and being less concerned about like time inefficiency and like how long it takes to process, on the assumption that like once it works and that it is stable, then you can go through and do things like make this more efficient.
Is this like is the efficiency of this process specifically driven by the graphics card you're using?
That's a good question. I'm actually not sure. I think this part is CPU, and media pipe I think is GPU. For the CUDA based like any OpenPose and Deep Lab Cut, those are definitely GPU. I'm mostly certain that media pipe is also GPU, but I think the 3D reconstruction is CPU. Um, and now we see how this does. So this is the we are not saved. This is we turn the saving video off. If not, it would run through a saving video, which takes a long time. Uh, but now we see old Trento standing out there. So you're a little bit towards the edge of the that middle one. Uh, yeah. Which is probably why it's not seeing your arms. Oh, because it's just not. Yeah, you can tell it's not seeing your arms because like there aren't two solid images of your arms, but it's getting your body really well. Um, and again, like the visualization could use work. Like the face is just a mass of dots because it that's the easiest way to plot it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because he's farther away, uh, it's looking good. There's also a couple frame drops, the black flashies. Um, I think that's something that actually can be fixed in software. I think that's actually not a problem with your camera. I think it's a problem with the way we do the synchronization. Um, but yeah, see this part, and you held your hands forward, which made it like worse. You can see there's no so both of you don't have two images of both of your hands on any of those combination of cameras. Because you're standing in front of the post-it note and not behind it. But that looks good.
Yeah, there we go.
And then I think I said back up. But yeah, so I mean that's basically the long and short of it. That is what is that, 20 minutes or less? Start to finish. Like from I have Anaconda installed on my regular old Windows PC with any old graphics card to I have motion capture data of myself. Trent, could you pull up the folder, the data folder? And that's 20 minutes. I'm gonna do this real quick. So this is going to the place where Trent's. There it is. So that free mocap, sir. So that session, that is the session that was just in sesh, and then the date, and then the time that it was started. If we had not set record vid to false, it would pop out in an MP4 of this animation here, but we don't have that. But just pointing out, so you have cal videos, you have date, which is the calibration videos, which are not really important. You have data arrays. Could you open data arrays? And then you have basically the 2D and 3D data from Charuko, which is the grid board. And then MediaPipe, you have the 2D data and the 3D data saved as NPY files. Those are just NumPy arrays on the inside. If you go to the wiki on the GitHub, in the sample data part of the wiki, it explains the structure of that. And then go back out, Trent. And then you've got the MediaPipe data, which I think is actually empty. It's vestigial. We need to get rid of it. I think those are all empty. Just go back. Let's pretend this doesn't exist. Ignore that folder. And then you got the raw videos. Those are the raw videos as they came off the cameras, along with the timestamps of each frame in each video, and then back out of that. And then synced videos into that. That's sort of where the magic happens. Those are 3 videos, each of which have the exact same number of frames, and each frame of each video is time synced with itself. And that is the stuff that's being shown on that right column of the animation happening in the background. Then you got the calibration has the camera calibration info. The config file has the session info and session settings. I don't actually know what's in there. Okay, there you go. So yeah, and that's there you go. That's free mocap, start to finish. We are making progress. And thank you for watching. If you're watching, thank you for being patient, Twitch, if you're here, and thank you, El Trento. And look at that guy. Bye, Mr. Skeleton. We all love you. Okay, bye. Oh, I don't have to click anything. I think we just are done. Cool. That was great. I'm happy about that. Let's see. How's... Oh, people are talking. Nade nade. Yeah. He's not seeing the chat and his face is covering the console output. Well, I can't fix it in post. I don't really care. It'll be fine. There's a Blender plugin coming. Kendrick, who is on here, is on the Discord server. There's the Blender plugin is in development. Oh, that's interesting, Moose Man. Apparently we can turn on like MediaPipe runs on CPU by default, and you have to tell it to use GPU, which means we could probably get that how long that took is running on CPU. So if we can make that work on GPU, it might come like multiple times faster.
Yeah, wicked fast.
Wicked fast,
as they say here.
As they do say here, indeed. Thanks, Moose Man Prophecy. Okay, I guess I should do a dev update. I'm tired.
Do you want to do it with like stuff?
I don't know if I want to do a dev update. I'm too tired, and it's like
tweet out a link to the video.
Yeah, I like that. Let's do that.
Yeah. That's the update.
The update is we made a video. Here it is. Because the dev update. Oh, there's also like the what's it called? Oh, the videos actually come out of this like 15% too fast or too slow. So there's actually to sync up the videos is actually not, and I don't know how to do Premiere enough. I have to just like kind of like do some cheats to like make it time sync properly. Like it's actually, it does not say the videos that get saved are actually not a true representation of time. They're a little too slow or a little too fast. Yeah. Not a CUDA. I don't use any CUDA. I reference CUDA stuff. So the current one, the MediaPipe one, doesn't use NVIDIA CUDA, but the version of this that supports OpenPose and Deep Lab Cut uses CUDA. But we don't code in CUDA. I don't even know if that makes sense. I just use Python. It just requires CUDA to be installed on your computer and to have a GPU that's compatible.
All right, I'm gonna go be with my dog.
Awesome. Wait, hold on. Here's a cat. Here's a cat. You don't need the cat. You don't need to know about the cat, but the internet does.
Bye, internet.
Bye, internet. Thanks, Trent. Okay, now I go over here. Yeah, that worked. Okay. Oh, I am gonna do a recording. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you for doing that. Sorry for not paying attention to chat, but that was productive for me, and I appreciate y'all's forbearance. I am tired too. So I think that was productive. That sort of like having timer to not look at chat allowed me to actually get stuff done. Because what I've learned in my Twitch streaming journey is that I cannot ignore chat. And so I think I'll think about how to utilize that, because I do like having the chat based streams, but I also kind of like what we just did of like recording a YouTube tutorial, like work, doing like real work that needs to be done, like just but streaming it. And I think the methodology of just like having a Pomodoro, like a timer that says I'm not looking at chat during this time, and then like having time when I do look at chat, that works for me. So how do you guys feel about that? Is it like disrespectful to not to like say like I'm not watching chat right now, or is that kind of expected and like understood from y'all's perspective? I hope you don't mind.
And they're getting themselves a lot.
Who's this person? Oh, I think, yeah, awesome. Thanks, Moose Man. I'm honestly like a little oh, I should turn you back on. Like I'm still figuring this out. Um, but I think in the spirit of like getting stuff done. Oh yeah. Let me send you a few Joe Vision. Yeah, I'm gonna stream y'all. Um, I'll send you to this friend. I don't know who she is, but who they are, I suppose. Um, but they're doing software development, so it's at least appropriate. And they're small channels, so we like that. Nova Villain. I think villain is misspelled, but that's okay. Okay, bye. Love you. You're all the best. I'm gonna go away now. But thank you for following me on these journey. Mwah. Oh. Never mind. 1 second. What am I doing here? Raid. Nova. Villain. Nova. Wow. That is a hard to spell name. Okay. Search engine optimization could use some work. Okay, bye. Mwah.